So exhaust this off, guys. No major there. What I can show you though is how bad these Chinese metals are. If you've got any Chinese bike and you want to preserve it, then stainless steel exhaust system is an absolute must. Don't get me wrong, if these guys put good quality paint on, it would last a bit longer, but they don't. They put really thin, watery crap, and that's what happens. Same with the downpipe there. I'm going to clean it up fully and I'm going to paint it with high temp black. That way it's actually going to last a while. That's the whole point of this stuff. We want it to last a while. So I'm going to make sure that's protected properly, because I am going to use it. I'm going to put the slip on to that. The more we do in kind of brat and calf style to this bike, the better it looks. The more you minimise things, the better it looks. That's the whole point of this. So, I didn't know it had a rear stand. Ooh, that's probably... I don't know, I might take it off. It's quite handy, a rear stand though. Okay, what's next? Let me get the rear foot pegs off so that we can see underneath, and then we'll address any rust issues we might have. Alright guys, just to catch you up on what I've been doing, obviously removing the rear end pegs and then cleaning up the swing arm to see where we need to treat, but I'm going to actually paint the whole thing. I'm going to hammerite it, make sure it's all cleaned, and I've given the chain its first clean. It's come up very nice, but I'll give it a good thorough second clean, and then I'll of course get it greased. So the weather's terrible guys, it makes it really hard. I'm under my little shop awning here and John's inside, but actually the weather makes it really difficult to get much done. So with the guard, I might keep the guard off, I might put it on, I'm not sure yet. If it cleans up enough, I'll put it back on. If I can clean it and back to black it, for example, I'll throw it back on. Then this front guard here, over here, I think I'm going to paint that black to tie in the back end. If I had spare gaskets, I'd take this off and paint it black, but sometimes things are more hassle than they're worth. It's not broken, leave it alone, and that's what I'm going to do with that one. But that one's going to go black, and if I can get that clean and black enough, that'll go back on, and this will just be thicker hammerite paint just to make sure it kind of lasts a while longer. That's all. The side panels, someone mentioned the side panels. I've got them. I'm not sure they're going to fit. They might not. I will try this side in a moment just to see if it works. In fact, let me grab that now. So looking at the side panel guys, it won't work. It was close, but it's the seating bit, it's this bit that just won't work. You could put something up there, a bit of plastic, cover it in. It's not worth it. The whole idea of a brat is that it's exposed. Like all that space you're meant to see. If I was really brave, I'd put a cone filter on it, as we're coming up to summer as well. But they run like crap in the winter guys with a cone filter. So my kind of thoughts earlier were to move the battery up under here and to cone filter it so that we've got a clear through there. But no, I'm changing my mind on that. This is a quick, simple build. I'm going to keep it like that, guys, so that all of you, anyone who wants to, can copy this. You know that tank's 50 quid. You know that the rear seat was 40. You know the rear light was 10 or whatever. The whole point of this is if you have a Honda CG or an old Lex in your garden and you hate it, you can do this and you can create your own custom build. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these hammerited because they need the protection. These things just rust. So I'm going to get that painted on now and then look at what happens next. So I'm just debating the rear light with John. The hammerite on the swing arm has gone on really well. That'll give it a bit of protection. Now in my head, I had the light like this. Self-tapping screws straight through to the plastic. That and of course the number plate with a slight curve on it. In my head, that's how I had it. On camera, it doesn't look great. If we're being fair, on camera it doesn't look great. Now here's my kind of concerns. If we mess around down here, it can kind of go in there, but it's not overly seen or accessible. And it would need to be angled quite significantly for the number plate to clear the light. Now what we can do, that bit's okay, because we can bend up the bottom so we can have the light fairly straight and the bottom bent up. I think that's probably, I don't know. I am at a bit of a loss here, guys. The other thing I might be able to do is if I turn the light around, no, that won't work, and then kind of bend this bit up. If I bend this bit up, no, it won't work because the number plate would then be on the inside. Yeah, so I'm kind of working out what I do. Obviously I can build some sort of structure out and have the light here-ish with the number plate like that, so it'd be kind of like that, but again, not overly keen on that. So I'm going to have a think on this. We can go down here, but I'm never a huge fan of that. It's not, especially with the full-size number plates which you need for the MOT. I don't like it down there. It's got to be up here. This might be, don't worry about the wires and all, they'll go down back like that and under the seat. I think that might be our best bet. It does look a bit tacky though, it looks a bit like I've glued it to the seat. So we're very lucky today. John's convinced me to try a bit of fiberglass. His plan is to layer around here and just thicken it up and make it a bit more interesting looking. And actually, I've done bits and pieces of fiberglass in the past, but not really anything significant. And fiberglass has been used on bikes for years. So this is going to be really great to see John do this. I'm going to try and film it as he does it. Ultimately, you mix hardener and resin, which will come in the kit. Ultimately, you cut your matting, you'll layer up the matting, you probably layer up the area first, layer up the matting, pull it on, trim it as needed, and then you paint over it with the resin, thicken it up, blah blah blah, and you create what you want. You can then shape the fiberglass afterwards if you need to. I think John's going to go in the insides here, and I think he's going to come down and around here just to kind of stiffen it all up a bit, which will be cool. So let's have a look at some of that. I think the whole point is that this bracket is a bit more stable. Honestly guys, I would have been fine with this. I would have probably put an L bracket on the inside to stabilise it a bit, and I would have left it as it is, but I'm quite intrigued to see some fiberglass work. Great, so as soon as John gets started, I'll get some of that filmed. Alright guys, so John currently, he hasn't mixed anything yet. He's just cutting the layers that he thinks he's going to be using. That kind of makes sense at this stage. So John's done the fiberglass work, and he's kind of filed it down a bit and sanded it a touch, and then he's going to use some filler and hardener to smooth it a bit before we paint. Okay, so fairly short midweek catch up this one, but rear light is mounted. I think that's worked really well. It's doing its thing. I do need to bend, I think it needs to all bend back a little bit, which I can easily do, and then I'm going to bend these up a little bit, and ultimately the number plate is going to come out kind of at that angle. It should just clear it fine, I'm sure. Other than that, I painted the fiberglass repair, and that's kind of it really. What I'll do is I'll order an exhaust for the weekend, because I think it'd be nice to hear the bike on the weekend. I'll be going over the wiring on the weekend, and kind of for indicators all the way round, I'll put new indicators on all the way round. I've got the nicer black metal ones there, and it's starting to rain, so this is the absolute perfect time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up please, make sure you're subscribed, and drop me a comment. No matter how silly it seems, it helps the YouTube algorithm.